How are you doing today?
Yeah, fine.
So, Arno de Bruin, you're a Dutch wedding photographer, author of the Be Creative book about flash photography, and second book is coming up soon, right? You've been a MagMod ambassador for
Yeah,
some time now. And you spoke at WPPI this winter, right? So, it looks like you've been pretty busy. Do you
yes,
have any time? Do you have any time
uh,
left for other things than photography?
a a little bit. Yeah, it's very busy here, but I like it. So
Yeah.
we do a lot of stuff, but the wedding season is coming, so we doing some weddings next month, and after those months, we are going back to the other things like workshops and like that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and what other things besides photography do you like to do in your daily life?
Yeah, working on my new book, a lot of time. Shooting portraits beside weddings. That's a new style. I'm busy with the Macbox from MacMod. That's a new style photography for me, and I like to explore new things. So I'm always
Yeah,
busy.
yeah. Okay, but all of these things that you just named were also about photography, right? Do you
Yes.
do any other stuff in life
Uh,
besides
yeah,
photography?
travel, playing football with my kids. Last winter it was cold, but now the spring is coming, so I can play football with my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, travel, holidays, weekends, beside weddings. That's what we do. Enjoy life.
Yeah, sure. All right. So we want to get to know you a little bit better, and I've got some questions for you in rapid fire. So short answers. Just name the first thing that's in your head. Okay.
Yes, okay.
So what's your favorite music artist?
A couple. That's difficult. Pink Floyd, Bruce Springsteen, Armin van Buren. Yeah, like that. It's
Okay, cool. What's your favorite city in the Netherlands?
Amsterdam. Yeah.
And who do you like to follow on social media?
A lot of people. I follow Sam Hurt the most, a very creative photographer from the United States, and a lot of other photographers. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Masters. I follow the Masters, all the awards. Yes,
Okay.
Fearless a little bit, but that's too much to follow every day. Uh,
Yeah.
and a lot of photographers. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, you said you were playing football with your kids. How many kids do you have?
Two, Rens and Matthijs. Matthijs is 10 years, Rens is 12 years. Yeah, we play football after dinner in the
Okay,
garden every night. Yes.
nice, nice. Okay, so what are your favorite pizza toppings?
Oh, I don't like pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll skip that.
Yeah.
That's okay. What about if you have to choose between making a photo with an iPhone reflection or
Yeah.
shooting through a glass? What would you choose?
Shooting through a glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody does the iPhone trick, and I always search for new opportunities and difficult things to do. So shooting through a glass is more difficult than use an iPhone as a reflection.
Okay. So, what's your favorite country in the world outside of the Netherlands?
The United States and South Africa.
Okay, South
I
Africa.
like I like the United States about the opportunities and the landscapes, and I like South Africa about the simple life there and the wildlife. Uh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic for holiday.
Okay. So, if you have to name a camera functionality that everybody thinks is cool, but you never use, do you have one?
autofocus tracking systems like that. Yeah, I'm not the technical functions in my camera. I don't know them. I only use a few things from a camera, and the other things I do with light, natural light, flashlight, or LED lights. So for me, is the dynamic range very important, and the reliability of my camera, and the speed, and all the other technical stuff they can take out of my camera. Yeah, I don't use it.
Okay. Yeah. So if you have to choose between on-camera or off-camera flash,
that's difficult, because when we are on a dance floor, I always choose on-camera flash, because we are in the middle of the dance floor, and we are in the middle of all the things that happen. But when we are shooting, we use off-camera flash, because we want to do creative shootings with a lot of color and with a lot of flashes. Mostly we use 3 or 4 flashes. So that's a difficult to choose.
We use both.
Yeah.
Okay. So hard light or soft light?
I like hard light, but with the new Macbox and Jerry I never can call his name. Jerry Giaconis, a difficult name. Okay. He's one of my favorites, but his name is so difficult. But he is a master in soft light, and I like that. But I use at my weddings a lot of hard light, many speed lights, no soft boxes. But with the new Macbox, yeah, we find another way to use soft light and hard light in a mix, and that's what we are explore at this moment.
Yeah. Okay. So choose between posing and photojournalism.
Both. We do about 30% posing. We like to create wall art for our clients, and with the perfect posing, but posing with a moment in it. So we pose a couple, then we take a little bit time to get a moment in the couple, and then we shoot the image, the final image. And we want to create wall art for our clients. But moments are on a wedding also very important. So 70% is moments. Connection between us and our clients is so important, because we have to get very, very, very close to get the real moments. So it's both.
Okay. Well, that was great. Let's go and take a look at your favorite images. We've got the first one where you took a photo of an eye with the couple reflection inside. Can you tell me, like, why is this image special to you?
Yeah, there was a image that was very difficult to create. It were 2 women, 2 brides, and the eye is from another master photographer, Rian Honewoon. Also, I call her Rian. She was my second shoot that day, but that's her eye. And we want to create a creative image, and I create images always on my feeling. We didn't know that we are going to make this one. We are playing with some gels and flashes in the parking lot, and I saw a little reflection in the eye of the other bride, and that was the first step in this image. And after that, the idea was born, and I always say never give up, and it took about 45 minutes to create this image. And before we started, I said to Rian, I'm going to record it with my video camera, because when this image is published, everybody will say that's Photoshop. And I don't,
Yeah.
I like Photoshop for some small things, but not for creating image. My images are always one click. Yeah, it's one click, no Photoshop click. And after the image was finished, we look at it and we saw, yeah, real wedding art. And that's because it's also the eye of Rian. Yeah, it's a very special image, and it's, yeah, it was awarded with 3 or 4 awards. Fearless. It was Fearless in the top 25 2017 best portrait. It was awarded with a master. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, what was this at the beginning of creating images like this? Why this image is even more like special? Like this was the like one of your first when you tried to work like this, or have you been trying it for longer before this?
No, I tried 5 years ago with sunlight, but it was the most difficult creative image to shoot from the last year. And it's also the cover of my book because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, you use a MagMod for a lot of your portrait images, and you've been a MagMod ambassador. So, what makes this system so powerful for you as flashlight modifiers?
With MagMod, we can easy create awesome images. It's yeah, it's magnetic. You can put it on your flash, and you're on the go. You can create with a lot of colors. It's a fantastic system that speed up your creativity. And MagMod changed my life 3 years ago. I use a lot of MagMod, and they make me ambassador. Dus, yeah, I'm a proud ambassador. Yeah, it's a fantastic system. Yeah, for when you like creative photography, MagMod is a fantastic system. Yeah.
Okay, so and on your YouTube channel and in the Facebook group of MagMod community, you share a lot of images and how you created your images. It always amazes me, like how you come up with these ideas of what to do in a certain space. Can you tell me a little bit about how your mind works when you step into a room or setting where you're going to make portraits?
Yeah, I never have expectations from a location. I can shoot in a parking lot. I can shoot in a beautiful castle. I can shoot on a beach in Ibiza. It doesn't matter. I can shoot everywhere. When it rains or snow, I can shoot always. My brain is very busy. When I walk in a room, the first thing I look to the available light. Where's the light? And if there's shitty light, I take my flashes or my LED lights to create my own light. I always think different. This when another photographer posing a couple in a certain way on a certain location in that room, I always choose the other side. But it's always, yeah, busy in my head, and yeah, we always find some creativity in what room or what location. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Are you trying a lot of different things in the same space before you end up with your final image, or do you create the idea in your head first and then you're going to do it as you thought it would be?
Yeah, mostly we have an idea, and we are going to create it. And if that took 10 minutes or 30 minutes, we want to nail the picture. 1% of all the IDs, they didn't make it to final shot because the light was really shitty, or the contrast in the image was not good. But 99% of our IDs, yeah, we take to a final image always. Yeah. And the connection between me, my second tutor, and our wedding couple is very important because they have the same idea about creativity and the time that it will take. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, but sometimes 30 minutes. And they don't care about it. They want that nice wall art on the wall. That's why we always choose for 2-hour photo shoot on a wedding day, always. That's very important because if we don't have the time for a photo shoot, we cannot use all our speed lights or LED lights to create something awesome for our bride and grooms.
Yeah. Okay. I can imagine when you work with so many colors and different flashes that you start out with just 1 or 2, and then during the process you add more and try to be even more creative than how you started. Is that right?
Yeah, mostly we started with the key light on the bride and the groom, and after that we work in layers, not Photoshop layers, but light layers, and step by step we create another layer with another flash. And if you look at my YouTube videos or tutorials, you always can see those layers, those light layers, and we work in layers, so it makes it easier to create the image.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can imagine. So, I heard you're going to speak for MagMod at WPPI also next year, right? Which is pretty cool. Do you have any ideas already what you will be talking about?
Yeah, we shoot a lot of creative portraits, and mostly we deconstruct those images with backstage photos and try to educate other photographers on the WPPI to do that also. And that's what MagMod make awesome. They have a big community and a lot of ambassadors who wants to share their ideas and their light systems for others.
Yeah. Okay. Well, nice. Hey, let's go take a look at your second favorite image. With this couple walking through the water with all the splashes of water coming up into the light, and this image is a few years old, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 4 years, about 4 years.
Yeah.
It's also a very awarded image, and everybody thought it was taken in Ibiza or another happy island with a lot of sun, but it was just in a dirty pool around the corner here.
Yeah.
In my hometown. It was a very sunny day, and it was an after wedding image. We were on the dance floor with the bride, and she told me, "Oh, I want to jump into the water with my wedding dress." You don't have to tell me that. We are going to arrange that.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yes, and in the wedding night, this after the wedding, I go home, and I was backing up my files, and the bride messaged me, yeah, I really want that after wedding. That's fun. And the next day I contacted her because the weather was that week very, very hot and very good. and this was the same spot as where we took the wedding shoot, and we exactly know where the sun goes down, where the sunset was. So we took the car about 2 days and took the wedding couple in the car and go into this space and took this shot. But you have to get dirty for this one.
Yeah.
Because Bocalicious is water on my camera, and like the color of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you create these splashes of water? Did you do that with your hand? Like
it was not a sea. I took my hand and I splashes a few times on my camera. There was a wedding of a wetsuit on my camera, a special filter, and it took about 2 minutes to take this image because you have only 2 minutes with a sunrise of a sunset. Yeah. Okay. And I was laying in the water. I was almost fully wet, and after the shoot, my smell was terrible because it was really a dirty pool.
Yeah, well, you have to do something to get something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I can imagine you'll be talking about your images and the way you work in your Be Creative book. That was from last year or 2 years ago?
Last year, yeah. Yes, last year. Yeah.
Okay, and it's and now you have a new book also coming up this summer. Boost Your Creativity. Can you tell me what the differences are between those two books?
The Be Creative book is for professionals, for semi-professionals, for a little bit difficult light situations. If you want to create a creative image with 2 or 4 flashes, this book is very good for that. The new book, Boost Your Creativity, is also for the amateur photographers, for the pros, and that is a book full of simple tricks to create fast and easy a creative image in every location. That's the difference between the 2 books. I give a lot of workshops, and there are pro photographers, but there are also starting photographers, and they do not always understand all the light recipes in the book. And the new book is especially for them, so I can cover all the photographers.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's go and take a look at your third favorite image. This is a little girl with holding the hands of the bride and groom. A photojournalistic image, not staged in any way, I hope, right?
Yes. No. No, my moments are real, always.
Good. So, what about this image? Why is it special for you?
This image tells everybody the connection between me and my couples. This image, let's see how close we get to get a real moment. This is a real moment, and I like the connection between me and my couples. So they give me the opportunity to get real close on their most beautiful day, and I like that very much. And because of that, we can get these images.
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah. It is a real moment, and I like creative images, but I also like real moments. But
Yeah, I think the couples need to have photography like this also on their wedding day, right? Uh,
absolute.
where they get the feeling of um, yeah, how they spent their day and what the emotions were like and all the things that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, storytelling is also a very, very important thing on a wedding day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you won quite a few awards with the Masters of Wedding Photography contest in the Netherlands. Also international contests. Is it important for you to compete in contests, and has it helped you in any way in the last few years?
Yes, my first award was my first real award. Was a master. I was in Florida in the USA about Christmas time, and I won because there's another time schedule there. For me was at night, and in the Netherlands was it a day. So my phone was full with messages. So I woke up at that morning and I look at my phone. What the heck is that? And after a few minutes, uh, everything arrived in my brain, and I saw I won 2 masters, and that was the most beautiful award winning time ever.
Your first two awards. I mean,
Yeah, my first 2 masters. That was I never forget that. And at that time, I want to jump a hole in the ceiling, uh, but that's not good for my head. But that was, yeah, I smiled the whole week, really. And after that, I won a lot of more awards, Fearless, WPS, and Masters. And it helps me to look better to my images. Every award round is is another award round because there are always other people who judge about the images, and I was learned always look at yourself. So if you don't win in a contest, don't be negative, but take the positive vibes out it and work harder or think harder or repost the image the next round. Never give up. And all those awards help me to make me a better photographer. I look better at the images in the editing. When
when you shoot the image, probably you'll get pushed.
Yeah, yeah. I don't shoot for awards. I shoot for my wedding couples, and I shoot because I like to shoot weddings. But after a wedding day, there are always a few images. They pop out your screen, and I save them for contests. But I always look very, very close to these images in the editing, in the moment, and that makes me a better photographer, and that makes me to look better in the moments on the wedding day. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good for every photographer to go to contests and share your images because that makes everybody a better photographer. Absolutely. It also branded my name. Absolutely. My workshops are almost always fully booked like that. But last year I did a step back with awards for 1 year because it was too much awards. It took a lot of time to select the best images, and sometimes it's good for a photographer to step back and refocus. And this year I'm fully awarded. Yeah.
Okay, you're going full in again this year.
Full in. Full
Yeah.
in.
Okay, so yeah, we're looking forward to see some of your best images of the last few years. So yeah, we'll see. Hey, and Do you have any goals when you go to wedding? Like what you want to achieve for the couple, for yourself?
Yeah, I always want to try my best for my couple and take better images than the wedding before. It doesn't matter or that how pretty my couples are, because I don't look at the outside, but I look at the inside. I publish all my weddings on my blog, not only the pretty one, all the weddings. And every wedding, we work very, very hard to create the best images for those couples. And that's our goal every wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a nice goal. So, do you have any other photographers that when you first started in photography that were really inspiring to you, or that you advise other people to look at right now and follow their work?
Yeah, if you like portraits and soft light, that guy with a difficult name, Jerry Giconis.
Yeah.
If you like creativity, absolutely Sam Hurt. He is absolutely the master in creativity. His brain is awesome. He's so good. And the other one, that's a new guy for me. He's also a Magmod ambassador, but he can educate very, very good. That's Jared M. Gant in the United States from Colorado, and he has always beautiful landscapes with nice posings, nice moments. So I follow him a lot last year and couple next years. Yeah.
Okay. And were there any Dutch wedding photographers in the last few years that helped you become who you are now?
Yeah, the Damon Pauwman is a Dutch photographer that always will be in my heart. Yeah. Yeah. He has helped me 4 years ago to get that shot and to get more creative. Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of helped you kickstart it all.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Damon was my kickstart for to get more creative and to do what I do now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, so you know that photos look best when you print them big. You said you like to create wall art for people or for your couples, and you probably also make photo albums, wedding albums for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite supplier for these things?
Yeah, absolutely. Floricolor. I'm a brand ambassador for Floricolor. So all my albums are from Floricolor, and every wedding couple gets an album always. I never give them the option to choose only for digital imaging, only albums, wall art, and the files.
Yeah. So you give every couple a big print as well?
No, they have to buy it with me. But every couple gets an album. Every couple, yeah, because the storytelling is beside of the wall art also very important.
Yeah, sure. And why do you like the Floricolor albums instead of all the other suppliers?
I like the simplicity of some album styles. I work a lot with photo covers. My couples don't have a full list with everything they can choose. Mostly 4 or 5 colors they can choose from, and photo cover or no photo cover. But the photo covers of Floricolor are very very nice, and the quality of the albums is very good. they choose me as ambassador.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so well, and we're going to list some of your workshops and speaker dates that are coming up. And want to thank you very much, Arno, for this nice conversation with you. I hope we got to
Thank you.
the people got to know you a little bit better, like who you are and what you do. And well, we will definitely meet again soon. At all these
Absolutely.
events for photography.
Yeah.
So thank you very much again, and
Yeah, thank you.
well, we'll see each other later. All right?
Yes, it was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.